are you?
Good, how are you? Here, wait, let me
Good.
fix all my settings really quick. Okay. All right, I'm
How,
good.
how are things?
So good. I mean, we just got back from New York like a second ago. So
Really?
that yeah, we did Pix 11 this morning for New York City. So we were in and out and so much went on this morning. I was up at like 5 in the morning.
That's what your sister was saying. Then she's like, "Oh, I took a midterm this morning." I was like, "What? How did you what?"
Oh, there is crazy stuff happening.
Well, let's talk. First and foremost, congratulations on A Really Loud House.
Thank you
Um,
so much. Oh my God,
you
it's been such an amazing experience.
I love that brought it back for another one. And for you, how excited were you when you heard that it was coming back for a second one?
Well, when it was coming back for a second one, after the movie, I mean, we kind of talked about it on the set of the movie, like, because people were kind of guessing, because Costumes was like, oh, we're ordering fabrics, and we're like, for what? And then when we heard, we were like, oh my gosh! And then it was just, it's so cool because our cast is really like a family, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And we don't see each other for a while sometimes. And we all live, Sophia lives in Oklahoma, the twins live in LA, we live on the East Coast, everyone's separated all over. So when we finally got an opportunity to be like, wow, we're coming back together, it was like so exciting.
Now it films in LA, correct?
No, it does not.
Where is it filmed?
It films in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's
Oh,
crazy. It's where they film like Stranger Things films there, Breaking Bad films there, like all of that stuff. It's huge in the industry right now, actually. It's like crazy how many actors and actresses live there. So yeah, we film it out there. It's wild. It's really
yeah.
fun though.
What's it like filming in? Because I mean, as you guys said, everyone is kind of all over the place. So when you all get together, you're in one city, and it's not a city that is filled with, on the surface, you would seem a ton of stuff. Like it's not high rises, it's not like restaurants around every corner. It's really like a tight knit community there. So what's that like when you guys get all together to be able to hang out and have fun there?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, we all kind of live in a really close to each other in Albuquerque in a community. It is so fun. I mean, we have dinner at the Allen twins' house, like we have family game nights, we go out, like in the summer when we were filming, we would all go to the pool together, like host barbecues. We're like it's really fun. We make it like a very community experience, especially with the crew. Our crew on the set is also like our family in a way. It's like the whole production, especially the writers and the directors, it's awesome because we're all like these people and we all come together and we all like make this experience so amazing. So getting to film it in Albuquerque is really fun because we all
Yeah.
get like it's like this little like family living inside this like town. It's great. It's so much fun.
And what's it like being able to film with your sister? Did you ever see that when you first started out? Did you ever think I'm going to be performing with my younger sister?
Honestly, not really. I mean, not on this kind of scale. Like
Yeah.
we did theater when we were younger together
Mhm.
always. Like it was so much fun. I mean, I've been dancing with her, having duets and trios with our other sister Alex since we were like 5 years old in competition dance. So it's like I've always been working with her, and me and Aubin have always been really, really close because we're very much so alike in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But like it's fun because it's just like, it's really cool. But being able to be on a show like The Loud House, where like we kind of get to actually show our real relationship, where I'm her older sister and she's my younger sister, is really freaking cool. Because
Yeah.
I never thought we would be able to show a relationship like that and reach thousands and thousands of people on screen. It's just like, it's so cool the scale we're kind of doing it on.
Now, Aubin mentioned that when you guys were first cast, they didn't realize that you guys were sisters. Is that true?
No, they had no idea. So Aubin got the audition before I did because the funny thing was I never even got an audition for the show. I'll explain it in a second. But
Yeah.
Aubin went through this whole audition process. She got the role as I was getting callbacks. So basically my mom like saw Aubin's breakdown and was like, wait, why isn't Catherine going in for this? Called my agent. We had this whole thing. I got submitted for like Lynn, Luann, all these different parts,
Yeah.
and they called me back for Luann. And then I was in the thing. I was like, oh yeah, my sister, she's just going in for Lucy and stuff. They were like, Aubin? And I was like, yeah, Aubin. And they were like, oh my gosh, they thought it was so cool. So it was really cool. But they had no idea. And I was like, do you guys not read like Bradley, like we look alike. We're like both actresses. Like, I don't know. It was really funny though. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna
Yeah.
be sisters, and I'm
I
gonna have to
don't.
live with you in a house for literally 6 months.
Was that something that I mean, obviously, like talking to her and now talking to you, you guys are extremely busy. You guys are always constantly doing stuff and just looking at like obviously your career. You it's been nonstop for you.
Yeah.
So to have though that 6 months with her to be able to say, okay, even though we're working, I finally am in the same place as you for longer than a couple of weeks. Was that nice?
I mean, totally. I feel like being able to live with Aubin in Albuquerque, especially when it was just like me, Aubin, and my mom, or sometimes not
Yeah.
even my mom was there and it was just a babysitter, like me and Aubin really, like our relationship has grown like so much. Like we have always been close, but being able to be on a show like The Really Loud House and being able to live
Mhm.
with each other and work with each other and develop our crafts doing what we love with each other, like it's such an amazing experience and opportunity. And of course we fight sometimes and it's
Yeah.
fun. But like we weren't like there for 6 months straight. Like I was in LA a
Yeah.
bunch, I was at home a bunch. Like so it's constantly moving, but kind of having her as my little buddy throughout life is really cool.
Now, when did you realize that this was what you wanted to do? You wanted to be an actor.
I don't know. There was something about it for me always, just like like seeing like the Met Gala and like watching SNL ever since I was younger and like just like looking up to those people and idolizing them so much, especially as like a competition dancer. I started
Mm-hmm.
at a competition dance studio, which when I think about it, they were very focused on musical theater and tap and performance and all
Yeah.
this stuff. And I was like, wait, like, why don't I do that? Like, I can do like dance and stuff, but like, that's so cool. So I remember my whole entire studio trying out for Billy Elliot, which was the theater they were putting on in our local community. And I
Yeah.
did. And the director really liked me. So she did an off-Broadway show and she asked me to be a part of it. And then I got an agent and it just kind of all like took off and we just kind of went with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there was always something up like there I always knew. Literally probably since I was like 2 years old. I was like, I mean if you go back in like my first grade projects, like the what I want to be when I grow up, I'm like, a movie star.
Yeah.
Like that stuff. Like I think it's always been a kind of love for me, especially because I love the job. It's not
Yeah.
about anything else. It's about the fact I love acting. Like it's so cool to be able to wake up and be like, "Oh yeah, like I like filmed like a TV show today as my job." Like that's what I do for my career. Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
like it's crazy to me that I'm doing that so young and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity.
Well, and I think the other thing is you're very not only do you have a great support system, but you also, you understand what you're doing. You're not sitting there like taking anything for granted. And it just seems like you guys are having the best time.
Oh, completely. I feel like I mean this it's so much and when I'm like and when I think about it and I go back and I'm like, wow, like kids at home, like watch me in Aubin, like do our job. And like kids have come up to us in airports being like, oh my gosh, you're the kids from you're Luann and you're Lucy and I love your
Mm-hmm.
character and blah. And I'm like, this it means something to these kids and having a job where I can do what I love and then also be able to impact so many kids at home is so important. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so cool, especially with all, the toxicity in the media today and all the bad news that we always are getting in social media and stuff. Like being on a show like The Loud House where it's about family and love and supporting each other and it's just funny and fun and it's lighthearted and it doesn't need to be serious and like complex. It's just great. And it's so cool to be able to be on a show like that, especially right now, because I think it's so important for lighthearted shows to still be talked about and still
Yeah.
be shown and shared because we definitely need more of that in the world.
There's something to be said about feel good content that
Yes.
you can, it doesn't matter the age of it. You can literally sit down and be, a child or an adult and watch the Loud House or a
Yes.
Really Loud House
Yes.
and just decompress.
Our writers are so like Tim Hobart and Alan, like they are incredible. They don't write just for kids. Like my grandparents crack up at it because they write jokes for all ages. It's super family friendly for
Mhm.
everybody. It's really cool.
So, where do you want to go? Do you think you're going to stay in TV? Do you want to try Broadway again? Do you want to go more into film? What do you want to do?
I don't know. I think I'm really on the right path right now for me.
Mhm.
I've done theater ever since I was so young. I mean, I was so lucky to be able to do national tours and do Broadway so young. I mean, when I was
Yes.
younger and I was 7, I was like, I want to be on Broadway. And as soon I thought in my head, I was like, as soon as I'm on Broadway, I'm done. I've made it. That's all I want to
Yeah.
do. And then I realized it's just the start. You know what I mean? Like that was just the beginning for me. So
Yeah.
I feel like I would love to continue in film and TV. We have a new movie coming out in February. I mean, I'm going to go work on a new movie in February, which I'm so excited about, but I definitely want to dive into more not as much I love comedy and I love everything I'm doing. I think it's so fun, but I love dramatic and horror
Mhm.
acting. I think it's my favorite. Like, of course I'm hired to be a comedian when
Yep.
I'm like my favorite style of acting more than anything is drama and super grounded and natural stuff. I
Mhm.
really just like being able to put myself in the shoes of like a real person. Whereas Loanne is a real person, but she's very up there and like out there and loud
Yeah.
and big. Like I like being able to play someone that's also closer to me in so many ways. So I would love to be able to do a TV show like that or a movie
Mhm.
like that. And of course, I would love in a couple years after I do more TV and movies and stuff to go back and do a Broadway show. I think that would be so fun because Broadway, there's something about it. Like just being able to be like, yeah, like I like going out on Harry Potter on Broadway in the stage and standing there and seeing 4,000 people in the audience going like staring at you like excited, like spending money to come see you, like the whole experience of it all, especially when I was younger, I knew that going to see a Broadway show was like the most special thing ever. Like we would drive to
Yes.
New York, we'd get all ready for it, and like people would come to do that and see me on stage. Like that was such a beautiful kind of experience and it was just so crazy. So I would love to go back and do that, especially in a show like when I was younger, I saw Ben Platt's closing night of Dear Evan Hansen, and
Oh
it was
gosh.
magical. And I wanted to be Zoe ever since. I would love to do Wicked. I would love to. There's so many shows I would love to do on Broadway, and I think definitely Dear Evan Hansen is one of them.
But I think what you just hit the nail on the head on is when you were like as you said when you were 7, you were going to see these Broadway shows and you were sitting in the audience thinking, I want to do that. Now you have these kids who are watching you in a really loud house who saw you on Broadway and we're like, I want to be her. I want to
Oh,
do that. And for
thank
that,
you.
that's got to be, and almost like a full 360 come around to be like, I
Yes.
am now that person. And to that, like, how does that feel? Knowing that now you're impacting some other child's life, just
You,
like you were impacted.
I, I honestly don't. You just fully just like made me like so self-aware just now.
Sorry.
I just literally had like
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's just like I don't really like when I'm doing my job and I'm performing, it's still a job in a sense. So I don't really
Mhm.
think like, oh my gosh, like these kids look up to us. Like especially not even just me too, like our whole cast. Like
Yeah.
kids look up to us and admire us. And I just think that is so cool. And with social media, especially for young girls right now and girls in general, like society holds such a standard for girls of beauty, of expectations of what you need to be. And if kids are looking up to me, I don't want to just portray that like just like beauty and just like all that like like stuff that is not that important. Like what's
Yeah.
important is being yourself and being comfortable within yourself and confident and funny and having fun in life. And I think if I'm going to be an inspiration to kids, that's what I want to portray.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Just talking to you and your sister have just been like such a joy today. Both of you. No, it is. And just to hear how
Yeah.
grounded you guys are. That to me is amazing. You both are young, and to hear you guys saying this stuff is like, okay, the next generation is safe in the hands of these two.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much. Aubin is so great. And I think Aubin's so young too. And she's done
Yeah.
so much. And she is gonna take the world by storm. I already know it. She is awesome. I love her. She's great.
So what is in store for you? Obviously, besides going to film a new movie in February, what else do we have to look forward to?
One thing I'm not looking forward to is my midterms this week. I will tell you that much right now. I have so many new projects coming up. Always stuff is in the works, and I can't ever give too much away,
Yeah.
but some TV shows, movies, like there's always stuff happening in the Bradley house.
Yes.
But there also might be a high school dropout coming soon if I have to take these midterms. I'm just kidding. School is so important to us too. So
Yeah.
definitely a balance between school and all this stuff is very important with my mom. My mom always says school comes first, which it
Yes.
does always. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the works, especially with me and Auburn combined, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, but it's so nice to hear that because there are a lot of people who would take this career and be like, no, like this is my career. I don't need the schooling. I don't need that. And for you guys, like my big thing has always been, yes, not everyone is great at school. But to go and be able to socialize with kids your age and
Yes.
that whole thing to me is the key of why you go to school.
I mean, school is so important to me in Auburn. I literally say all the time, I'm like, I love going to school. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And especially my mom and my dad are both so smart. And we all have their genes in this house. I mean, school is really important to me, like good grades, good all of it. Like I love to be well-rounded. And of course, this career is gonna be permanent for me. I want to
Yes.
do this even when I grow up, but like being able to manage myself, my own finances, being able to negotiate my own contracts, like all of that stuff comes along with school, and school is definitely super important to me. Me and Aubin still go to school in person. A lot of the kids on the set are homeschooled, which is
Yes.
amazing. I mean, I did homeschooling when I was on Harry Potter, but we
Yeah.
are in regular school, and it's really cool. I mean, I have all my friends there, all the sports, all the clubs. It just is awesome. And I would never trade not going to school in person.
Yeah. Now, are you still competitively dancing?
It is crazy. I don't even know. Yeah, we are. We actually have to go to dance after this. So I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna do some homework, and then I'm gonna go to dance for like 5 hours.
Oh
But
my
I love
gosh.
dance. It's always been such a big thing for me. I think to be a well-rounded like performer, actress,
Hmm.
whatever you want to call it, you really, especially if you want to get into theater and Broadway stuff, being able to dance, even just hold your own in a dance audition is so important. It is so fun. Also, it's fun and it's great
Yes.
exercise. And if I always think about this, I was like, if I had gone the traditional way, like some sports or just normal dance or like
Yeah.
whatever, it would be a completely different story. But dance has impacted my life in so many ways, including setting me on a course to be an actress.
Well, and I was going to say, it teaches you so much about your body and how to
Yes.
move your body and tell a story that I
Yes.
have to imagine that's helped in the acting world, being able to tell the story, not only
Yes.
obviously verbally, but non-verbally.
Yes, body language is so important. And I will reveal something. I mean, in one of our episodes, me and Aubin have a sick tap number, which me and her got to do. And I mean, being able to dance 100% came in handy there. And it's
Yes.
gonna be probably my favorite moment in the entire season, which is gonna be absolutely epic. So yeah, dance has been so important to me. It helps you take care of your body.
Hmm.
It's so great. And it's an art. I don't know the whole like dance is a sport thing. I believe it's a sport, it's an art, it's whatever you want to
Yes.
call it, but it's something that you can do as you get older, and it's not just something that's like for 10 years of your life. Like I will be dancing until I'm literally like in a walker.
Yeah. It's a stress reliever. It is a
Yes.
great place to go. And it sounds for you, to go and just forget about everything. The
Yeah.
bad day, if you've got a ton on your mind, midterms, you go and you just ease
Yeah.
it out and you're like, okay, once you're done, you feel better and you're like, I can tackle it now.
Yes, exactly. It's so fun. I love dance. It's my favorite. I love tap the most. It's definitely
I was
tap,
about to ask, what's
jazz,
your favorite?
contemporary. Oh, yes. So tap is my favorite style. Of
Mhm.
course, I love all kinds of tap, all Broadway tap, new tap, and rhythm tap, all of it. It's so fun. Jazz has to be next, like jazz and like hip hop, jazz funk, and then contemporary is
Oh my
third
gosh.
slot. Ballet, ballet is like even though it is so important and
Yes,
everybody will tell you that it's the foundation,
it
but
is.
I
Yeah.
can't bring myself to like it. I'm
No,
sorry. I'm so
no.
sorry to the ballet
I
lovers.
love that you said tap though, because I love that tap is my favorite thing to go and see. And when a Broadway musical has a great tap number in it, I'm like, yep, this is done. You have sold me. This is the best musical I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah, yep, literally. I saw Mean Girls, and my tap teacher, John Manzari, he just booked Funny Girl on Broadway for his
Oh my
tapping. I mean,
gosh.
he is the most talented person ever, I think. I've literally never seen anybody tap like that in my life.
Yeah.
And he is amazing, but I know he like didn't even like sing or act in any of this stuff, but he learned how to do it during the audition process and booked a Broadway show. And I was like, you are insanely talented.
You're kidding. That's insane. That is
Yeah.
amazing. So besides dance, what else do you do? What are your hobbies outside of acting and dancing, all of that. What do you like to do to just kind of,
Yes.
find yourself?
Totally. Our whole family is huge on skiing. I mean, besides my mom. My mom doesn't even know how she tries her best. We appreciate my mom's skiing skills. But my dad is a huge skier. He has been. He
Yeah.
takes us every year. We go every year. We are all super good at it.
Yeah.
I love skiing so much. It is so fun. I am a very social person. I love hanging out with my friends. I love going out with my friends. I love the beach. The
Yeah.
beach is my happy place. If I could literally like live in the sand, I literally would. I think it is so fun. The ocean, like
Yeah.
just even like laying there being like, I love it so much. It's so fun. I don't know. I have so many hobbies. I love writing. I love reading. I'm a big reader. I think reading is so important. It
Mhm.
is so fun. I read every single night before I go to bed. Yeah, I have a bunch of different hobbies, but I barely ever have time for any
I
of them.
know, I was gonna say.
But it's still really fun.
Do you think in years to come you'll ever move from in front of the camera to behind the camera with your love of reading, your love of writing, that maybe someday we'll see you putting on something?
I've never thought about that in so many ways. I think directing is, I mean, I've seen our directors on the show. Jonathan Judge is our main director, but we have had so many come in and out. We've had David Kendall, Phil Lewis, like all these amazing directors, and
Yeah.
being able to see like their job and how stressful it is. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But our writers, I would love to be able to write something. I think writing is so cool. And also directing, but I don't know. We'll have to see where my career takes me.
When you're on the Loud House and a really loud house, you mentioned, as a comedic actress in those, do you find that you like to do kind of some improv stuff, or is everything just what's been found or written down on the script?
Well, most of our show is actually improv. So, which is actually really fun. I mean, during our, not most of it, like the storylines are all there and all the like
Yeah.
our really said lines are there, but during all the family scenes, no lines are assigned, which means if you have to kind of think before, you have to be like, oh, what do I want to say here? Because literally a lot of the time in family scenes, when you see like a quick little one-liner, the person that said it will have come up with it. I mean,
Yeah.
in the movie, that whole scene where I screamed at Mr. Kogan, it's like that was all improv. There's so much. I
You're
love improv.
kidding.
I think it's so fun. Just like being able to kind of explore what you want to do and what you think the character is going to do there and what they're going to say there. I think
Yeah.
great way to not only express yourself but express what you think the character is. Does that make sense? And
Yes, that takes
I think
a lot of
it's so
trust.
fun.
Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
great.
a lot of trust, like in your writers and in your directing team, to know, okay, we're just gonna let you guys take it and run with it. And
Yeah.
for you, like, how does that feel, knowing that you have their trust to be able to say, all right, we know what Catherine's gonna do. She's gonna get this line or
Oh,
be great.
it's such like an empowering feeling. I'm so glad we have such amazing directors and writers. Like they're so empowering and they're great. And especially with people like Brian Stepanek on set and Julie Jenkins, like they are, when I tell you, so talented. It's crazy. Most of their scenes are literally just like improv bits. And Brian will be like, I'll be doing a scene. I was doing a stand-up routine for one of the episodes. And Brian was like, oh God, try this, try this. And I was like, literally give me all of your ideas because you guys are insanely like they're the funniest people I've ever met.
Oh my God, you guys are learning from the best people. The best people.
I'm so glad we have people like them on set, especially for Aubin. Like being able to be like a 12-year-old girl growing up with people like that to influence
Yeah.
her like development is so cool, especially because they're not only talented and funny, but so nice and just so great people. Such great people.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap it with one last question, because I know you and I will stay on here forever. Just like I said to Alvin, I was like, we will be here forever. And I know you guys have danced and all of that stuff. And I do appreciate you guys sitting here and chatting with me.
Of course, this was
But
so fun.
as we wrap, what do you want people to know that we haven't talked about, or something that you want fans to know is coming their way from you, maybe in 2023? I know we can't talk about certain things, but what is something that you want us to know is coming in store for you?
In store. I don't know. There's a lot of great stuff coming. I mean, I'm gonna be working all throughout, probably from February to the end of summer. I'm gonna be so busy, and there's so many cool projects coming, not only from Nickelodeon, but just from so many so many cool networks. And it's just gonna be such a great year, and I'm so excited to connect with everybody who follows me and supports me even more throughout the new year. And especially with the new year coming, I mean, we're all going to get older, we're all going to change. And I'm so excited to like have that support as I like go through the next year. It's going to be such an amazing year, especially
Well,
for me and Alvin both.
I'm excited for both of you. I'm excited for what is to come. Hopefully, we'll hear a little bit more as we get closer to February. But I'm super excited for you. You know, as I told your sister earlier today, this is going to be a long career for you. You guys are fantastic. You've been, you know, you're great in a loud house and great in a really loud house. And I just, you know, it's been a joy talking to you, and I'm
Thank you
excited to
so much
see
for having
what's
me.
coming
This
for
was so
you.
fun. Oh my gosh, this was great. Thank you
Well,
so much.
hopefully this won't be the last time we talk. As I said, your career is going to continue to grow. So I'm excited to hopefully grow with you and be able to see what you have in store for us.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you so much.